Ethan Carter adjusted the sleeves of his only Navy suit while standing outside the glittering entrance of the Grand Regency Hotel in Washington, D.C. The suit was nearly 8 years old, carefully pressed the night before by his 12-year-old daughter, Lily, who insisted her father looked like a millionaire even if the fabric had begun to fade. Ethan smiled as he remembered her encouraging words. Every late night spent writing code, every freelance project he accepted, and every sacrifice since losing his wife had been for Lily and for the dream that one breakthrough could change their lives forever. Tonight felt like that moment. An invitation to the nation's most exclusive defense gala rested securely inside his jacket pocket, personally addressed to him. The ballroom sparkled beneath enormous crystal chandeliers while military leaders, government officials, and executives from America's largest defense corporations mingled over elegant dinners. Conversations revolved around advanced technology, national security, and billion-dollar contracts. Ethan walked quietly through the crowd, feeling out of place among custom-tailored tuxedos and expensive designer gowns. He carried no entourage, no assistants, and no flashy reputation. What he carried instead was years of research that had produced an artificial intelligence defense platform capable of preventing sophisticated cyberattacks before they could reach military networks. The Pentagon had shown serious interest, and tonight's gala was supposed to introduce him to the industry's most influential decision-makers. Across the ballroom, Blackstone Defense CEO Victoria Hale noticed the unfamiliar man standing alone near the presentation displays. She quickly judged him by his modest appearance rather than the invitation hidden inside his pocket. Assuming he had somehow slipped past security, she strode confidently toward him with several executives following behind. Without asking his name or checking the guest list, she demanded to know who had allowed him inside. Ethan politely reached for his invitation, hoping to explain, but Victoria interrupted before he could speak. Her voice echoed loudly enough to silence nearby conversations as she instructed security guards to escort him out immediately, insisting the gala was reserved for distinguished guests, not opportunists seeking free access. Every eye in the ballroom turned toward Ethan. Embarrassment burned across his face as whispers spread through the crowd. Rather than argue or create a public confrontation, he calmly placed the unopened invitation back into his pocket and allowed the guards to lead him toward the exit. Before leaving, he glanced once at the stage where tomorrow's future seemed only a few steps away. None of the guests realized the quiet single father they had just watched leave was the brilliant engineer whose revolutionary technology would soon determine the winner of the largest defense contract in American history. The following morning, sunlight streamed through the glass walls of Blackstone Defense headquarters as excitement filled every floor of the building. Employees hurried through the hallways carrying presentation folders, arranging conference rooms, and preparing refreshments for the historic signing ceremony. Months of negotiations had led to this moment, and everyone believed the company was only minutes away from securing a $1.2 billion Pentagon contract. Victoria Hale entered the executive boardroom with complete confidence, wearing the same determination that had built her reputation as one of America's most respected defense executives. She greeted board members with a smile, convinced the ceremony would become another milestone in the company's success story. A convoy of government vehicles soon arrived outside the headquarters. Senior Pentagon officials, accompanied by military cybersecurity specialists and federal procurement advisors, stepped into the conference room carrying sealed documents instead of celebration gifts. Victoria welcomed them warmly and invited everyone to take their seats. Expecting the final contract to be placed before her, she confidently slid a pen onto the polished table. Instead, the lead procurement officer calmly closed his folder and announced that the Department of Defense had made a different decision after reviewing the final approval process. The room fell silent as every executive exchanged confused glances, unable to understand why the atmosphere had suddenly become so tense. The officer explained that Blackstone Defense had achieved excellent technical scores, but the government's evaluation committee had selected an independent technology firm whose artificial intelligence platform significantly outperformed every competing system during classified testing. The final approval belonged to the platform's creator, Ethan Carter, whose cybersecurity architecture had demonstrated unmatched protection against advanced cyber warfare. Several executives immediately recognized the name from the previous night's guest list. Victoria's expression slowly changed from confidence to disbelief as the memory of the quiet single father she had ordered out of the gala returned with painful clarity. She realized the man she had judged by his appearance was the very innovator the Pentagon had been waiting to meet. The procurement officer continued by explaining that Ethan had attended the gala specifically to discuss a strategic partnership before making his final recommendation. After being publicly humiliated and removed without explanation, he chose to continue negotiations with another defense contractor that treated him with respect. The contract had officially been awarded, and the decision was final. As the officials gathered their documents and prepared to leave, silence consumed the boardroom. No one blamed the technology, the pricing, or the competition. Everyone understood that one moment of arrogance had erased years of work and cost the company its largest opportunity in history. Standing alone beside the untouched contract folder, Victoria finally understood that true leadership required humility before judgment, and she became determined to find Ethan Carter, hoping there was still a chance to earn the forgiveness she had never thought she would need.